Welcome to Code Jogging. Today we are going to look at files in C++. Okay, so we are going to look at how we can create a file using our C++ code and also add a test to our file. So we should be able to write a test to our file, and at the end we should be able to read the test from a file. So these are the three things we are going to do in this video. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe. So now for us to use the file in C++ or file in our project, then you have to import a library called fstream. With the fstream, we can work with files in C++. Okay, and anytime you are adding a library to your C++ project, you have to use the hash include here. Okay, then we add our fstream. Okay, so let me explain the use of fstream library here. With the fstream, it includes two libraries, so it's more like a combination of two libraries. So the ofstream allows you to create and also write to a file. Okay, so with the ofstream, we should be able to create a file and also add a test to the file. And then we have the ifstream. With the ifstream, it allows us to read from a file. So instead of importing those libraries separately or individually, you can go with the fstream, which has both ifstream and then ofstream to in that library. Okay, so now since we know how we are going to use our file in our project, let's go ahead and then create a file. Okay, so for us to create a file, then what we have to do is to make sure that we have our file name here. So let's have file name here. Okay, so let's give it um mm, let's give it our file name here. So file name cp, okay, dot txt. So we are creating a test file here. So this is our file name. Okay, now for us to create the file, as I said earlier, we have to use the ofstream here to create our file. So let's create an object here. So we are going to have create file, create or write file. Okay, so it has a constructor here. So it has a constructor, so it accepts only one parameter. So the parameter is going to be the file name. Then let's terminate it. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to add a test. So first, we've declared the file name here, and then we've created an object from the ofstream class. Okay, so now what we are going to do next, we are going to write to a file. So adding the text to the file, then you have to call the object that we've created. Let's change the name to lowercase here so that it will be easier for us to identify it. So create, okay, this one can be any name that you want. Okay, then we use the less than sign and then the message that you want to add. Okay, so we can go ahead and say this is a file created with C++ code. Okay, so now we've created our file. We can go ahead and then execute our code. But anytime you open the OF stream here, at the end, you need to close it. Other than that, you might even run out of memory because you've not closed it. Okay, so it's advisable for you to close the object here or the open file library here. So we can go ahead and then use create dot close. Then let's end it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and then execute our code. And now there's no error message. It means that we've successfully created our file. So let's locate our file. Let's go to our project. So then we go to the CMake build debug. Then this is the file that we created. Okay, so this is the file. So we can go ahead and then display it here. Okay, so now what we are going to do is to make sure that we can retrieve the file that we've created. Okay, that's the test that we've created from the file. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so now we've closed it, we can comment our code. Okay, or we can create a new class. Okay, so for us to make things easier for us, let's create let's say a function here. Okay, let's create a function. So create file. Okay, so this is our function, and then let's move this one to it. Okay, so we can call our function whenever we want to use it. Okay, so the next thing we are going to look at is create another function to read from the file. Okay, so to read from the file, so read file. Okay, then we can go ahead and then write our code here. So what we are going to do is first we have to declare a variable here, a variable that will store the files that we are going to read. Okay, so let's give it test to read. Okay, so now we've created a string variable here. So the next step is to make sure that we have opened the file and we are ready to read it. So we use the if stream here. Then we create an object, so read file. So read from file. Okay, then we pass the file name. Okay, so then we pass the file name here. Okay, so now we are ready to read from the test file. Okay, so the next step is to get the test from the file. Here we are going to use a loop, and the loop that we are going to use is a while loop because we don't know the number of tests or the number of lines we have in the file. Okay, so we are going to use while loop here, and this is what we are going to do. We are going to read line by line. Okay, so we are going to use get line, which accept two parameters. So the first one is which file do you want to read. Then we pass this object name here. Then what variable do you want to store the red file here. So that's test to read. Then we give it a body. Okay, so the next step is to display the test. So we can go ahead and then display this. Okay, so now when we are done, as I said earlier, now we have to close the open file. So let's close it. Okay, So let's terminate it. And now we can call this now we can call this method in our main function. So now let's execute our code. Let's hope there's no error. Yes. And now this is the text that we added to the file. Okay. So now this is how we can use file in C++. And I believe you can use it to do a lot of things. In case you have any questions, you can leave it at the comment section. And if you've not subscribed to our channel, please kindly subscribe to our channel. See you in our next video. Bye bye.